Hi, so today we're going to work on an all over body workout. I've picked 4 exercises for you and we're going to do 10 repetitions of each exercise and we're going to do 3 sets of each exercise. So it will be 3 rounds of 10 reps. So just to make it clear on how to make things easier and how to make things harder. If you're finding that the 10 reps is a little bit too tough, cut it down to 8 reps, okay? If you're finding that the 10 reps are too easy, do a couple of extra. In terms of the number of sets that we're going to do, if 3 sets is too difficult, just do 2. And if 3 sets is too easy, just add on another 1 or 2 sets onto that. In addition to making things easier and harder, we have the option of weights. So if you prefer, you can do these moves with no weight at all. So you're just literally moving your body in the range of movement. Then we can add in weights. So if you don't have any weights at all, you can use tins of food, you can use water bottles, anything that you can hold that's of equal weight so that you've got one in each hand. There's also options to do dumbbells, and I've got a nice light set of dumbbells that I'm going to demonstrate with today. And you can use whichever weight you prefer depending on how strong you're feeling. And you might actually want to change the weight for using leg work than you do for upper body work, but more on that a little bit later. And as I say, you don't have to use weights at all. There is resistance bands options that I'm not going to touch on this video because that's a completely different video. But there's lots of other things you can do. Now, you can use the exercises that we're going to do today at home using your dumbbells, or you can go into your local gym and you can do them in there with the free weights, or there will be machines that cover the exercises that I'm going to do that you could use fixed resistance machines in there. So any questions about that, do come and ask me. So just as by way of a little warm up, we're going to practice what we call skill rehearsal for the movements that we're going to do, okay? So the first move we're going to do is a squat, and I'm sure you all know what that is. So we're going to stand, we're going to do narrow squats for this video. You're going to stand with your feet around about your hip bone width distance apart. Your body weight will be on the middle to the back of your feet, so not on your toes, and your back will be nice and straight. And we'll be bending the knees and coming back up. So let's just go through our 10 repetitions, what we call our skill rehearsal. So as I said, if you were doing it without any weight, then you would be doing this version anyway. We've got 2 more here. And then we'll just release it off. Shake the legs off. We're just going to repeat that, and I'm going to show you a side view. Okay, so you want to make sure your back is nice and straight, the body weight in the heels, no weight on the toes, so that when we bend the knees, we sit the bottom back as if you're going to sit on a chair, then you change your mind, you come back up. So we'll just go through our second set of our warm up here, just to warm through those legs. I make it 4 more. I am prone to losing counts. If you want to do the correct amount, you must count them yourselves, okay? All right, shake those legs out. Okay, so our next move is going to be a bent over row. Now, when we add weight into this, it's working your back muscles. It's also, it's a pull movement. So it's working your back. It's also working your biceps because you're pulling, okay? With the bent over row, we're also working the legs a little bit and our core, because they're our stabilizers. So we're going to do our skill rehearsal. So we're going to have a narrow stance. We're going to bend the knees into a little squat. The arms will be down by your side and you're pulling the elbows back towards your waist. So you're trying to actually go past your body if you can. So I like to think about imagining squeezing some newspapers under your armpits. At this stage, you squeeze. So imagine you had newspapers under your armpits. I've got 2 more on this set of my warm-up. And then release. Now, if you find it too hard to be in that bent over position in your squat, then you could put your hands on your sofa, on a bench, on a chair. So you can put your hand and your knee down and you can do a single arm one like that if you need more support, okay? So let's just do the side view of the bent over row in the squat position. So we're hinging back from the hips, we're bending the knees, we've got a nice straight back, the arms are hanging down, and look where we're pulling those elbows back past your body. Okay, so you don't want the elbows flaring out to the side, you're kind of skimming your rib cage. 3, 2, 1. And the whole time I'm pulling my core in really, really tight, because when we're doing these free weights in these standing exercises, we really work the core so much more by engaging those stabilizing muscles. So at all times when you're exercising, you really should be pulling that core in. Okay, our next exercise is a plank shoulder tap. I'm going to show you an easier option of this if you don't want to get on the floor. Okay, you simply use a wall. So your hands are on the wall, take your feet back, and you're tapping one shoulder, putting the hand down, doing that version. So that would be doing 10 of those. Or we're going to bring it down onto the floor. We're only going to do one little set of this as our practice, because obviously this is going to be a main exercise. So we bring it down either onto your knees or onto your toes. And if you look at my back here, right, you're sticking your bum in the air, you've got to pull your belly in, draw the tailbone down, push into your toes, and then tap the shoulder. Now, obviously, if you want to, you can have your knees on the floor. You might want a little towel or a little mat or a cushion under your knees if you're at home. And that's our plank shoulder tap. So with that one, we're trying our very, very best to keep our body as still as possible as we're tapping the shoulder. Now, if you find that both of those options are just a little bit too hard for you at the moment, just stand, do a little knee lift as you tap the opposite shoulder. Okay, so I don't want anyone to feel like these exercises aren't achievable, because there's always an adaptation, the same as there's always a progression. Your last exercise of this particular session will be shoulder press. So we're just going to stand with soft knees. By the way, you could do this seated in a chair if you struggle with your balance or the stability, so you could sit. We're bringing our hands to our shoulders, driving up and back down. Okay, so we want those elbows to kind of come down towards your side of your rib cage. So this is our little warm through, remember? Okay, and then a side view of that. Pull the belly in, squeeze ribs to hips, so you're not just sticking your bum out. You've got to really pull in your core, and then it's a drive up and a pull down. Now the elbows kind of come down to your rib cage, okay? So you don't really want them going backwards. You want to draw them down, and that just takes less strain on your shoulder joint, let's say. Okay, so that's our warm up done. If you feel like you're still a little bit cold, you can just do that again. So I'm going to take my dumbbells. What have I got here? I've got just 1 kilo weight. It doesn't matter what the weight is, because you are going to find ways to progress it. So if you start off with a 1 kilo dumbbell and you think, you know, it's just too easy, then just go up to 3s or 4s or 5s or 6s or 10s, whatever you feel happy to. So are we ready? Our first exercise is our squat. So we're going to put our feet and our shoulder width distance apart, hip width distance apart, arms down. All right, so just letting the arms hang, we're bending the knees and coming straight back up. All right, so we're off. Here we go. So there's our 3. Pulling that core really tight. Body weight in the heels, remember, we're on 5. So we've got 5 and 4 and 3, 2 and 1. All right, so that's one set of squats done. So if you found that way too easy, up your weights, maybe do another extra repetitions if you want to. We're going into our bent over row. So we adopt our squat position again. So we hinge back, bending the knees, arms are hanging down, and we're pulling back and release. So remember, we're keeping the elbows as tight towards the body as we can. You're pulling your tummy super tight. We're halfway. 5, 4, pull that tummy tight. 3, 2, and 1. All right, now I often get people say, it aches my back, okay? Now, with back aches, it could be that you're just not conditioned for that particular movement, which is why we need to pull the belly in more. And remember, aches are because we're working muscles we're not used to working in a way we're not used to working them. So don't be put off by that. But what I will say about that one is the more you pull your belly in and squeeze ribs to hips, the more supported your back will be. So we're on to our plank shoulder tap now. So remember, you could do your knee lift with a shoulder tap. You could be against the wall, or we're going to take it down to the floor. So I'm going to do mine on my tiptoes. Remember, you have the option to lower your knees. So we draw the tailbone down, we push the floor away, we pull in the belly, and we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Easy. All right, your last one of this round is your shoulder press. So as I said, you could be seated in a chair. I prefer to be standing because I like to use my core muscles to stabilize. We take a slightly bent knee position. So we take the lock off the knees, we pull in the belly, hands towards the shoulders. I'll go side on so you can see. Don't lean back, pull in your belly and drive up. 1, 2. Remember, elbows come down towards your rib cage. And 5, and 6, and 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so that's round 1 done of the 3 that I'm going to do. Don't know why I'm putting those down. So I believe we can just go straight into it. If you need to take a break, you take a break. You just pause the video. But we're going to carry on. So we're on our squats. I'll go sideways on for this one. Pull in the belly, shoulders down, hinge back from the hips, down we go, lift. Now, what's important in a squat is you come up to a straight position. What you don't do is squeeze and push your hips forwards. Please don't do that. It just puts stress on your back. We've got 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. I'm staying down here. Pull back, and pull, and 3, and 2. Do you like my counting technique? 3, 2, 1. Now, the beauty of that one, if you do it straight after your squats, is you're already working those quads and those glutes and those hamstrings. So it really does make it intense. If at any point you need to take a break, you just stop, shake your legs out. Our next move then is our plank shoulder tap. Now, we have dumbbells. You could always use dumbbells in your hands if you're, that way inclined. Why not? Plenty of reasons why not. But remember, you can have your knees to the floor. So draw the tailbone down, push the floor away, and 1, and 2. Remember, we're trying to keep that body as still as we can with no side-to-side movement. 2 to go. Blow. Good job. Done on that. Alrighty, so back to your shoulder press. Up we come, and drive, and 3, and 4. Pull that tummy tight. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, so quickly we've gone to our 3rd round. We're coming up to our 3rd round here. So remember, you can need to hydrate when you're doing this. Keep the fluids going. Water is best, or there's some hydration supplements out there that you can use. But remember, with fluids, we don't want to be taking in any more calories than we actually want. So just be wary of what you're hydrating with. Personally, I just like lemon and apple cider vinegar. Yes. Okay, so final set then. Back to our squats. Ready, down and up. Body weight in the heels. Don't have any body weight in your toes. Pull that belly super tight. We're halfway. I'll turn side on. Hinge back. Drive through the heels. Hinge back. Don't squeeze your hips forwards. Final 2. Nice straight back. Final 1. I'm going to come down straight into my rows. Pull and down. Drive back. Drive back. So you're thinking about drawing the elbows back, not pulling them up. Last 5. Back straight. 3, 2, and 1. And release off. Legs are feeling like they're getting a workout. Okay, putting these dumbbells down, we're going on to our plank shoulder taps. Down we come. All right, so remember, push the floor away, squeeze ribs to hips, push down into your feet and your hands, and 1, 2, 3, 4, trying to avoid that side to side movement, and done. Final movement then, retrieving my rolled away dumbbell, is your shoulder press. So up to the shoulders, pull in your belly, soften your knees, drive up and down, below. Remember to keep those elbows kind of pointing down. Don't draw them back behind you. There's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you are done. Just pop those down. So very, very short and sweet. We don't need to be doing these big, long workouts. I mean, I do enjoy going to the gym and spending a bit of time there, but I've got a little bit breathless doing that. So it just goes to show that it doesn't have to be a crazy workout. This is just our first workout. There'll be other ones to come. But do let me know how you're feeling after that. And hopefully I'll see some of you in Pilates. I am going to share a Pilates video for you to do as well, for those of you that have never been to my classes. And some of you members have access to them anyway. So this will be really for the benefit of the non-members and those members that have completely forgotten to even look on the member area of the website that you're paying for, and you're missing out on all of the beautiful yoga and Pilates and mobility videos. So, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know.